Have you ever stopped to think about your breath, not just as a necessity, but as a thread that ties you to life itself? Every inhale and exhale happens automatically, unnoticed, like a background rhythm you take for granted. But what if that rhythm held a secret, a doorway to something far beyond the ordinary? Consider this. As you sit here, reading these words, your body is engaged in a miraculous act, drawing in air, oxygenating your blood, fueling your existence. Yet we rarely pause to truly feel it. We breathe to live, but do we ever live to breathe? There's something hidden in this simple act. For centuries, whispers of a deeper power have echoed through time. Mystics, sages, and seekers spoke of it, not in metaphors, but as a tangible force, one that could transform not just your body, but your very reality. This isn't about meditation or mindfulness as you've come to know them. It's about accessing something ancient, something profound, buried deep within your own chest. Right now, as your breath flows unnoticed, you are standing on the edge of that mystery. Will you take the first step? High in the unyielding peaks of the Himalayas, where the air grows thin and the world feels closer to the heavens, there existed a group of mystics unlike any others. They were not merely sages or spiritual seekers. They were guardians, keepers of an extraordinary knowledge passed down in whispers, from teacher to disciple, for centuries. To the outside world, their lives seemed impossibly simple, cloaked in stillness and silence. But beneath the surface, these masters held the keys to a profound power, a force they claimed connected every living being. They called it Prana, the vital energy of existence, flowing invisibly through the universe and within every person. For these masters, breath was more than survival. It was the bridge to this universal energy, a tool so potent that, when properly harnessed, it could unlock abilities that defied the laws of nature. With their understanding of prana, these mystics achieved feats that echoed like myths. They could slow their hearts to near stillness, endure harsh elements without harm, and enter states of consciousness that felt timeless. But this knowledge was never written, never shared lightly. It was protected like a sacred flame, entrusted only to those who proved ready to grasp its weight. Today, most of their secrets remain hidden, buried in ancient caves and fragments of forgotten scriptures. Yet, some of their wisdom endures, a whisper that calls out, even now, to those willing to listen. The question remains, are you ready to hear it? What if the energy that powers the entire universe flows within you? The ancient masters of the Himalayas believed exactly that. They called it prana, a Sanskrit word meaning life force. To them, it wasn't just a poetic idea. It was as real as the air you breathe. Prana wasn't confined to the physical body. It moved through everything, weaving an invisible web that connected the stars to the earth, the winds to the oceans, and every living creature to one another. The human body, they taught, was a microcosm of this vast energy, its life force flowing through 72,000 invisible channels known as nadis. When these channels were open and clear, prana moved freely, filling the body and mind with vitality, balance, and clarity. But when blocked through stress, poor habits, or disconnection from oneself, prana stagnated. The result? Fatigue, illness, and a sense of being disconnected from life itself. To master prana was to master life. The key, they discovered, lay in something deceptively simple: the breath. By controlling how they breathed, these mystics could guide prana to awaken dormant potentials within their bodies and minds. It was a practice they called pranayama, a blend of two words, prana, life force, and ayama, extension or control. But pranayama wasn't just about taking deep breaths. It was a precise science, a disciplined art. Through specific techniques, practitioners could direct prana to heal, energize, and even unlock states of consciousness far beyond ordinary human experience. They believed that breath wasn't just a function of the body, it was the bridge between the physical and the infinite. And by mastering this bridge, one could tap into the energy that creates and sustains the cosmos itself. The stories of the Himalayan masters speak of feats so extraordinary they seem to blur the line between reality and legend. Yet, for those who understood prana, these weren't miracles. They were the natural outcomes of mastering life's energy. Imagine slowing your heartbeat to such an extent that you could be buried alive for days, only to emerge unscathed. These masters did exactly that, entering a state so profound that their bodies required almost no sustenance. By guiding prana, they could endure freezing temperatures without shivering, walk through fire unharmed, and, as some accounts claim, even manipulate their physical forms. Ancient texts like the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali describe these abilities as siddhis, spiritual powers that arise from deep concentration and breath control. Among them were anima, the ability to shrink one's body to the size of an atom; mahima, the power to expand one's size infinitely; laghima, a state of lightness that allowed levitation. To modern ears, these stories sound like science fiction, but to the masters, they were as tangible as the ground beneath their feet. They saw these abilities not as supernatural, but as expressions of what it means to fully harmonize with the universe. What's more fascinating is how these powers weren't pursued for spectacle. They were seen as byproducts of a deeper goal: achieving samadhi, a state of ultimate unity where mind and body dissolve into pure consciousness. For these mystics, the real miracle wasn't levitation or slowing time. It was discovering the infinite potential hidden within themselves. And while the world outside marveled at their abilities, their true focus lay inward, where the greatest treasures waited to be unlocked. In today's world, life moves at a relentless pace. Cities hum with the constant buzz of activity. Screens demand our attention every waking moment, and our days are filled with to-do lists that never seem to end. Somewhere in this whirlwind, we've lost touch with one of the most fundamental aspects of our existence: our breath. Unlike the masters of old, who viewed each breath as a bridge to the infinite, most of us barely notice it. Our breathing is shallow, quick, and hurried, an unconscious reflection of the stress and chaos around us. Over time, this disconnection takes its toll, leaving us fatigued, anxious, and unbalanced. The nadis, once envisioned as flowing rivers of prana, now seem like dry, clogged channels. The natural energy meant to sustain and renew us becomes blocked, and we wonder why we feel so drained despite modern comforts. It's as if we're running on autopilot, existing but not truly living. Even when we seek solutions, through exercise, therapy, or mindfulness, we often overlook the simplest, most transformative tool at our disposal: our breath. The masters knew what modern science is only beginning to confirm. The way we breathe directly impacts our body, mind, and energy. But how do we reconnect? How do we find our way back to the life force that lies dormant within us? The answers are not lost. They're waiting to be rediscovered. The journey to reclaim this power begins with awareness. It's about pausing, breaking free from the rush, and learning to breathe in a way that doesn't just sustain us but transforms us. The path to unlocking the hidden power within begins with a single, deliberate act: breathing with awareness. It sounds simple, but this conscious connection to your breath can ignite a profound transformation. The ancient masters understood that the body's energy channels, the nadis, often become blocked by stress, negative emotions, and the clutter of modern living. These obstructions keep us disconnected from our vitality and potential. Through pranayama, the practice of breath control, the mystics develop techniques to cleanse and rejuvenate these channels, allowing prana to flow freely. Imagine your energy as water coursing through a network of rivers. When the rivers are clear, the energy moves smoothly, nourishing every part of your being. But when debris accumulates, fear, tension, self-doubt, the flow becomes sluggish and the life force dims. Pranayama acts as a gentle yet powerful tool to clear these blockages. Techniques like alternate nostril breathing, nadi shodhana, or deep abdominal breathing bring balance and harmony, working to restore the natural rhythm of the body and mind. It's not just about physical vitality. As the nadis open and prana flows, something deeper awakens, a sense of connection to yourself and the universe around you. The clutter of your thoughts begins to settle, revealing a calmness that feels both ancient and new. But like any journey, the path requires patience and practice. Each breath, each moment of awareness, is a step toward unblocking the dormant energy within and rediscovering the wholeness that's been there all along. Every journey worth taking is bound to have challenges, and the path to mastering your breath is no exception. As you begin to explore pranayama, you may find your mind wandering, your body restless, or even feel frustrated when things don't come easily. These are the natural growing pains of awakening a force that's been dormant for so long. In our modern world, we're conditioned to seek quick results. But breathing is not something you conquer. It's something you gently align with. The masters knew this well and embraced patience as their greatest ally. They taught that each breath, no matter how imperfect, was a step toward clarity. One of the most common challenges is the sheer restlessness of the mind. As soon as you sit still, thoughts come rushing in. Did I respond to that email? What should I eat for dinner? Am I even doing this right? This mental noise isn't a sign of failure. It's evidence that you're beginning to observe the chaos that's always been there. Another obstacle is physical discomfort. Modern lifestyles, sitting hunched over screens or slouching on couches, have disconnected many of us from natural postures that allow for free, easy breathing. The good news is that with time and practice, your body adapts, finding new ways to support your journey. The key to overcoming these obstacles lies in consistency and kindness toward yourself. Celebrate small victories, like sitting for just 5 minutes longer than the day before, or noticing the subtle calm that comes with focused breathing. Each practice session is a seed planted, and with persistence, those seeds will grow into something remarkable. With time, something begins to shift. At first, it's subtle, a flicker of awareness in moments that would have otherwise been rushed or chaotic. The breath feels deeper, steadier, as if your body is remembering a rhythm it had forgotten. The first signs of transformation often appear as ripples in your day-to-day life. You may notice your energy lasting longer, your patience expanding, or a calmness emerging in situations that used to overwhelm you. These changes aren't dramatic. They're quiet, steady, and deeply grounding. On a physical level, your chest feels less tight, your shoulders more relaxed. Breathing through your nose starts to feel natural, even when you're focused or stressed. Sleep improves, and with it, a sense of restoration that carries you through the day. Emotionally, the clutter of small worries begins to fade, replaced by a clarity that makes room for gratitude and joy. It's not that problems vanish, but your response to them transforms. The moments when your breath flows effortlessly become anchors, pulling you back to balance when life tries to tip the scales. These changes may feel like whispers of something larger, a promise of deeper transformations ahead. The ancient masters often said the journey of prana begins with clearing the surface before delving into the depths. These early shifts are just the beginning. What lies beyond is a connection so profound, it will redefine the way you see yourself and the world. As the practice deepens, something extraordinary begins to unfold, not just within your body, but in your mind and spirit. The breath, once an unnoticed rhythm, becomes a gateway to an entirely new way of being. Your thoughts, which once raced uncontrollably, start to quiet. It's as if the storm in your mind has settled into a calm, reflective lake. In this stillness, you begin to notice things you'd previously overlooked. The subtle warmth of the sun on your skin, the intricate patterns of leaves in the wind, the gentle rise and fall of your chest with each breath. Life takes on a vivid clarity, as though the world itself has slowed down to meet you. This transformation of consciousness isn't just about finding peace. It's about connection. The masters taught that when prana flows freely, you experience a profound unity with the universe. Boundaries between self and other, between mind and matter, begin to blur. You feel part of something vast and timeless, as if you've tapped into the heartbeat of existence itself. At this stage, the practice becomes more than a routine. It's a state of being, a lens through which you view the world. Challenges still arise, but they no longer feel insurmountable. Your awareness, now sharper and more expansive, allows you to respond rather than react. The transformation is subtle yet powerful. You're no longer just living. You're fully alive, immersed in the richness of every moment. The masters called this state samadhi, a merging of the individual self with the infinite. And though the journey is far from over, you've glimpsed the profound potential of what lies within. As your breath slows, your mind clears, and your energy flows freely, you begin to realize life itself has transformed. What once felt overwhelming now feels manageable. What once seemed distant now feels intimately connected. You stand at the threshold of a new reality, one where you are no longer a passive observer of life, but an active participant in its unfolding. The lessons of the ancient masters are no longer just stories. They are truths you carry within. This transformation isn't about perfection. It's about presence. Every breath becomes an opportunity to connect with the moment, to find balance in chaos, and to draw strength from within. The simple act of breathing, once automatic and unnoticed, has become a powerful tool for growth, healing, and self-discovery. The ripples of this journey extend far beyond yourself. As your energy shifts, so does your interaction with the world. Relationships deepen, work becomes more meaningful, and even challenges become stepping stones rather than barriers. This is the power of Prana, the life force that flows through you, connecting you to everything. And though this may feel like the end of a journey, it's only the beginning. With every inhale and exhale, you are reminded that transformation isn't a destination. It's a way of living. The question is no longer whether you can change your reality. The question is, how far will you go to embrace the limitless potential within you?